Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Picfed, and right now, we are going to have a match between Dragon Lee and Pete Dunne. Dragon Lee was the man who got screwed over by Dominik Mysterio in that Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight Championship match. And Pete Dunne was the guy who tried making a name for himself after said match. And now both of these men are going to go one-on-one. Eric Bischoff decided it'd only be right that this contest be a #1 contender shot for said light heavyweight championship that is currently held by Dirty Dominik Mysterio. As we saw in the very first episode of the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Picfed Eric Bischoff's episode, Dirty Dominik Mysterio became that light heavyweight champion, and now he's going to have to defend that championship against either this man, Dragon Lee, or this man about to make his way to the ring, the bruiserweight Pete Dunne. And what a way to make a name for yourself, going straight after the champion after he wins the championship. But before he even got the chance to do so, he was halted by Perro Aguayo Jr. And we saw a very disgusting display from Perro Aguayo, attacking a man, blindsiding a man when he wasn't even ready for it. But this time around, Pete Dunne will be ready for it. This time around, Pete Dunne will not be hit blindsided. Like I said earlier, it's only fitting that these two fight one-on-one. Both of these men screwed over in some way or another. Pete Dunne screwed over on the chance to make an impact here and Tapped Out in Pro Wrestling, and Dragon Lee screwed over at the chance to become the first ever Tapped Out in Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight Champion. But now these two looking to settle it and settle who deserves to be that man to take it to Dominik Mysterio, who deserves to be the first man to get their revenge on Dirty Dunne. And I wonder who it's going to be between these two men. I mean, you got to think it's going to be pretty even. Both of these men relatively well known within the wrestling business, known for having somewhat of the same status in the wrestling world. Being around just as long, being around... Wait a second! Here comes Dominik Mysterio! Speaking of the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight Champion, here he comes now! And of course, you probably know he's not going to come out here alone. I mean, I wouldn't think he would, especially with two men who hate him the most at this point right now. But Dirty Dominik Mysterio is probably coming out here. Yeah, here comes Perro Aguayo Jr. and Rhea Ripley. He's probably coming out here to see exactly what he is going up against. I mean, like I said, either of these two men are going to get the chance to fight Dirty Dom. So Dominik probably wants to see what these two men are capable of. And he's going to get exactly that. Look at Dirty Dominik, relaxed, all relaxed at the top of the entrance stage, but he won't be for long once he finds out who wins this contest, as here we go. Both men getting ready to start this one off. Feeling each other out. Here we go for the lockup. Dragon Lee, Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne now with the upper hand, going for that wrist lock. Has Dragon Lee in trouble. Dragon Lee, though, able to roll through, nips up, catches him here. Dragon Lee now with a wrist lock of his own. He's got Pete Dunne right where he wants him, but Dunne, no! Pete Dunne able to nail him with that forearm there. Pete Dunne fighting a little bit dirty, and this is exactly how Pete Dunne fights all of the time, with that boot to the face. He's a heavy hitter, he's a striker, and all of these strikes are strikes that are gonna wear Dragon Lee down. That's exactly what Pete Dunne is trying to do here. Wear Dragon Lee down and get him exactly where he wants him. As now, Pete Dunne taking the arm to the back now and really stretching that thing. Dragon Lee, though, able to get out of it with that arm drag. And look at this, Hurricane Rana, no! Gets caught with that powerbomb on the apron by Pete Dunne. And an X-Plex as well, just to put the exclamation point on it. A big old X-Plex on that apron there, just wearing down the back of Dragon Lee. My God, can Dragon Lee even continue after that one? I'm sure all of the wind at this point is just knocked out of Dragon Lee, but he somehow gets back in the ring. Somehow able to find his way back in the ring as Pete Dunne continuing the attack here with that knee to the gut. And look at this drop down there by Dragon Lee. Up and over. Catches him. Tilt-a-whirl DDT. Pete Dunne is in trouble. Gets caught with that super kick. And now Dragon Lee, no! So close there. Pete Dunne now on the apron, catches him with that kick to the shoulder. And now Pete Dunne looking to go high, springboard moonsault to the floor. My God, you can hear the thud as both men hit the concrete here. Well, I should say the wooden floor. As now both men are back in the ring somehow after that one. Dragon Lee and Pete Dunne. Big old chop to the chest there by Dragon Lee as he heads to the top. Look at this flip, but gets caught with that sit-out powerbomb. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. But Pete Dunne not stopping there, misses that forearm, but Dragon Lee able to fight back. Up and over, catches him. My God, Dragon Lee is a fighter. Even when you think you've got him down, he just keeps fighting. As now Pete Dunne back to his feet, gets caught, but no! I thought that was it right there, but Pete Dunne looking for the bitter end. Oh, wait a second! What is that thing? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, the Beast Mortis! Beast Mortis is here! What is he doing here? Oh no, you've got to be kidding me. Is he another man joining this Dominik Mysterio army? No, you've got to be kidding me. This monster of a man, this beast of a man, is now on the side of Dominik Mysterio. You've got to be joking me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now the Tapped Out the Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight Champion has all of the firing power he could ever want in his arsenal. What is everyone in the Tapped Out the Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight Division going to do now? We'll find out on the next episode. Well, I should say on the next part, ladies and gentlemen, of this episode.